Hey there, everyone. Hey, how you doing? It's been a minute since I saw you last. I'll get into all of that shortly. While we're waiting on folks to join, reminding you to go to coopedup.com. That's my website. You can follow me on other channels. I'm Cooped Up is my handle in most places. And wherever you are watching or listening, be sure to click on the notification bell so that you find out when I go live and post new content and all of that. And last but not least, send me a text to 214-949-8599. That puts you on my text list for just random things. I'm not going to spam you. And you can always ask me a question that way too. So, hi, Mama. Good to see you. Thank you for the text. Sorry I was running a few minutes late, y'all. Technology as I'm getting older is becoming the devil to me. My computer just decided to restart, and then I got to wait for it to restart. I think it's telling me I need a new one. I don't know. Anyway, well, happy Pride, everybody. This is the first day of Pride. So I got the rainbow thing on, or watch band. I got my rainbow bandana on. I even have a rainbow libation that was sent to me by the folks at House Wine, which is this wine in a can. I want to crack it open. Hey, Sandy. It is House Wine limited edition rosé bubbles. And they're donating money to LGBTQ causes. How cute that is. Yum. Love rosé, love bubbles. Cheers. Canned wine actually tastes remarkably good. This brand called House Wine. I like it. Anyway, rainbows everywhere today. Rainbows everywhere. I saw even that the Super Bowl, or not Super Bowl, the NFL released a special edition of their logo, that shield looking thing with rainbow on it. When the NFL is celebrating Pride, it's gone mainstream. That's just made me laugh when I saw it. I didn't believe it actually. Someone told me about it, and I was like, no, I don't believe it. And then I went and saw it for myself. I did not read the comments. I do not read comments on things like that because that is when people come out and they get mean and hurtful and crazy and all that stuff. Monica's reminding me this is when we normally would go to Walt Disney World, Pride Week. Yes, so that's the funny thing about it also is so Gay Days at Disney, which is not an officially sanctioned event. It wasn't at the time. I don't know if it is now, but it was just like an independently organized thing. But it was well known that it was the weekend after Memorial Day. So like this coming weekend, it would be. And so we would always plan to go there, not because we were going to any of the gay things or anything like that. It was a lot of the people would stay away that weekend. It was like the slowest, I think it was like the second slowest weekend of the whole year or something, because so many people were like staying away. And it wasn't all it was. People were in the same color red shirt so that you can identify each other. That's all it was in real life. I think there was parties and stuff but they're not in the park. But anyway, so we used to go, and we were there one time. Monica, weren't we there once? And they even let us just stay on rides multiple times. I remember that Killa something falls, the Kalahari Falls, whatever, at Animal Kingdom. I think we rode it like 3 times in a row because there was no line whatsoever. I remember riding Splash Mountain multiple times. Craziness. Well, word got out that it was a good weekend to go. And also, I think people are just less scared of people like me. So I think we've been 3 times during that weekend. The first time, paradise, totally empty. Second time, a little busier. Third time, you would have just thought it was any old day at Walt Disney World. It was so busy. So that is kind of the downside of being of acceptance and having people not think that you're the boogie monsters, that they don't try to stay away from you as much. But cheers to Pride. Anyway, so sorry I missed on Friday. I actually had every intention of coming live on Friday. And I went to lunch with my friend Craig, sat down at 12 o'clock with him, did not leave the restaurant until after 6 o'clock. I kid you not. We sat there for 6 hours. I only had 2, maybe 3 glasses of wine over the entire 6 hours. We ate and all of that kind of stuff. And I tipped the waiter very well. We just sat there, and the next thing I know, I'm getting a text from Todd. Are you okay? Do I need to come get you? Because he could see on my phone we had that Find Friends app, the Find My, whatever it's called, on Apple stuff, so you can find all your stuff, including your family and your friends. And he saw that I was still at Uncle Julio's for 6 hours. He's like, "Do I need to come get you? Are you gonna be sloppy?" And I was like, I'm totally fine." Like, and I had at that point at 6, I hadn't had a drink since like 3, so I was totally fine. Just lost track of time. And you would think that we hadn't seen each other in a million years, but I'd literally gone to lunch with him, I think in March. So it wasn't even like long lost friends. It's just that's how our lunches go. We talk and talk and talk, and I was hoarse afterwards from talking so much. But it was a good time. I enjoyed it. It was a great way to kick off the long weekend. Todd thought the weekend felt like it flew by. I felt like the weekend was very long, like not badly very long. I just felt like it was just we had a ton of time off. A lot of it was kind of rainy and gross here in Dallas. If you're not from Dallas, we reset the pool area, washed all the cushions, power washed the cement, took out plants that still hadn't been taken out since they died in the freeze, put new ones in, all kinds of a lot of hard labor outside with that. But that was my weekend pretty much. I did go to Tom Thumb, the grocery store, and it was something interesting. So I was literally, I'm not kidding, the only person in the entire grocery store that did not have a mask on. It felt so weird. And here's what's even weirder is that people are wearing masks in the grocery store, but they're wearing them like this. Like it's like I was like, just don't wear it then. If you're not gonna wear it right, just don't wear it. I don't understand that. It was so weird, and I don't know what it was. So they still have a sign on the door that says, but it has a picture of a mask, and I'm guessing people aren't reading. It says unvaccinated customers are mask recommended for unvaccinated customers. I think that's what it said. Basically, it wasn't even about vaccinated people; it was only for unvaccinated. But I felt, at first when I was starting to do that, I felt kind of like a dick, honestly. Because at Target, it was the same kind of thing. I was like one of like 10 people in the whole store, which I'm not going to complain that people are still being responsible. I'm being responsible. I did what I needed to do, got vaccinated. So anyway, thought that was funny. What else happened? Oh, interestingly enough, I had to go by. So on the way to lunch with Craig on Friday, I stopped by the Hermes store. Hermes, that's the fancy schmancy scarves and shoes and all that kind of stuff, with the pretty orange boxes. That orange box is an Hermes box right there. And because I wanted to get a new pair of sandals, I have them in brown, but I wanted them in navy blue also. So I went to go get those. And walk up, the door is locked with the guard at the door, and there's like one family in front of me, and they're like, "Do you have an appointment?" And I was like, "No, I don't know. I needed an appointment." "Well, we're still abiding by COVID restrictions and all that stuff, so you'll just have to wait till someone is free." And then he was like, "It's going to take like 2 minutes. Don't worry." And so I had to stand outside Hermes, which I mean are worst places to stand, but it was so weird. And I'm wondering. I feel like a lot of stores are still doing that either because they don't have enough staff, like to man the store, or they think it doesn't Arab exclusivity. There's a lot of it in Las Vegas as well. And, Hermes is French and huge in Asia also. So maybe they're just applying one rule to everybody, not Texas. Ooh, that is very bubbly. I swallowed that a little bit funny. And then also, speaking of shopping, we were at the farmers market, and my phone starts blowing up with people. "You're not at North Park. You're not at North Park." North Park's our fancy shopping mall here. There's an active shooter at North Park that people are running out, and so I looked, and there's like videos of people. Let me just like stampeding out of North Park Mall, running, screaming, all that kind of stuff because it was an active shooter there. Well, about an hour later, they realized it wasn't actually an active shooter. It was some punk ass kid smacking his skateboard on the cement in the food court area. And then when he realized people were reacting funny, he started pretending he was shooting a gun. I think he was mentally off. I think I read that, but just pretending, and people were running it. I can't even. Can you imagine the fear? I cannot. But and they've since arrested him, or he's in custody. I don't know if that's arrest. And I think I saw that he pulled a fire alarm also or something. Did y'all see that? What do y'all know about that? I only know a little bit. Carrie and Beth, who watches here frequently, and who else? There's Arden, who works with me. A couple of other people were like texting me and messaging me, "You're not at North Park." And I'm very rarely at North Park. So if anyone's going to get shot in a mall, it's probably not going to be me. Because if I go to the mall, I do not go on a crowded day. You will not see me there on a weekend. I will go on a Tuesday morning, Thursday afternoon, something like that. Anyway, what else? Y'all are very quiet today. Anything in the comments? My Apple Watch this morning decided it wanted to do a fitness challenge. Did y'all get these as well? I assume everyone does. Gets these notifications about like for the fitness app thing about, hey, want to earn this award this month? Here's your fitness challenge. So mine was like, your fitness challenge for the month of June is to run or walk 88.2 miles this month. I'm like, it's like, that's only 2.9 miles a day. I'm like, okay, Apple Watch, real funny, Apple Watch, the watch that's been attached to my body for the greater part of 2 years. You know that I don't do that. You know, this watch has never moved more than 2 miles unless it is in a car. You know better. I'm like, who? I want to know the algorithm. Like, what algorithm was put into place that was like, he normally does this, so that equates to 88.2 miles or 2.9 per day. Like, I was like, you could not be more wrong. And when you said run, you know, that previous story about the active shooter, that might have been, if I were there, that might have been the only time I would run. Ugh, I don't know. But do you get these alerts? And then Carrie and I are synced up on ours, and so I get notified anytime she does a workout, as she does for me, but that never happens. But I get notified when she works out, and it has canned responses, and it'd be, some of them are funny, like "you got this" or "on fire." Some of them are sarcastic though, like "don't break a hip," stuff like that. Eric is saying, I probably have weeks that I don't watch. Exactly. There's a reason why I look the way I do, though. This doesn't help. Um, I've got a dilemma right now, though. Our school has its in-person gala on Saturday, this coming Saturday evening. It's called the Kessler Auction, and it's fun, band, all that kind of stuff. We raise a bunch of money for our school. I literally have no idea what I'm going to wear. I don't have anything that fits me anymore that's of a dressy variety. Now, if it were Lululemon, like, sign me up, or some of these denim Ina Garten shirts, sign me up. The theme is colorful cocktail. It's called like Summer in the City or something, and colorful cocktail is the theme. So I'm trying to figure out, I think what I'm going to do. So I ordered a scarf from Amazon today. I will show it to you when it comes in. I'm actually going to try to find it here also. It is not very expensive, so I'm curious about the quality. But I ordered this big ass colorful scarf. You see it? I like that view of it. It's got like these stripes in it. So I'm thinking I'm gonna wear all black to be slimming, also to not commit, and then fashion this scarf in some sort of way around. I'm not gonna do it that way, but you can see how it's like a starburst pattern on there. It's like a superhero. I think I'm gonna do something like this second one that I showed you. That is where it's kind of wrapped around. It has that's all the colors, right? That's, I think, the plan right now. I don't have, because I don't even think, honestly, I don't even know if I could wear my fucking tuxedo right now if I wanted to. So I'm thinking black shirt, probably untucked, black slacks, make it look like it's super intentional with that scarf. What do y'all think of that? Sandy has a Fitbit, and Crystal has a Garmin, and it does not challenge me enough sometimes. Well, I'll tell you, the Apple Watch, it challenges you all the time. It's like, do this, do that. You can get this award. You can do do you want to go into competition with Carrie? I'm like, no, I don't. I don't like getting into competitions I know I'm not going to win. That's just not right. I had the weirdest dream last night. So last night I had a dream that Todd was making money on the side by making fake IDs for people. He had this whole kit, this whole setup that he would take. It was in like a almost like a doctor's medicine bag, like two of those. He was taking those around, and then he would get all set up with like to take a photo of if they needed fingerprints on it, because I guess some IDs have that. I don't know, in my brain, and uh, all this stuff. And here's the weirdest part. This is how specific the dream was. Most people who were getting fake IDs were not getting it to drink. They were not getting it to gamble. They were not getting it to buy cigarettes, lottery tickets, or anything. They were getting it so they could take advantage of interline discounts for airlines, which what that means is if you work for one airline, you get like 90% off your tickets on other airlines. It's an interline like deal that they do on vacation. When Todd worked at American, we used to always get real cheap vacations and stuff because of that, like with resorts. They were using it, and he was not making fake driver's licenses. He was making fake like employee cards for like American Airlines and Southwest Airlines and stuff like that. How weird is that? Like, why would I have dreamt about that last night? First of all, why was it Todd? Why was it fake IDs? And then why was it specifically for interline discounts? I do not. It was just so weird. And I woke up even thinking, well, that was a very highly specific dream. And you know, the CBD does that to me. And I think I had too much to drink last night. And so I think that amps it up. When I drink and then have CBD before bed, my dreams, they're not scary. I've said so many times, they're not scary. They're not bad. They're just highly specific, super vivid, and realistic. Am I drinking Boda Box again? No, I am not. That is danger, girl. I can, without paying attention, I can down like most of a box, and then I feel horrible the next day. So I'm having to stay away from that. I'm doing, I think, what are we drinking right now here in the house? I think it's Woodbridge Lightly Oaked Chardonnay, I think is what it is, in the double bottle still. But that one seems to have a lighter flavor. It's if it's in a bottle, it's a finite amount, so it's easier for me to gauge, like, okay, it's time to start slowing down. I also stopped drinking at 8 still, although I think I fudged that last night. I think I drank at 8:30 still. But I slept fine last night, but that messes with my sleep. But today, if you just are tuning in, I am having the Pride edition of House Wine. It is a limited edition rosé bubbles. Isn't that cute? It is very bubbly though. Like I felt it in my nose just a minute ago. I don't drink bubbles a lot, but they are fun. Let's see what else. Oh, I saw in my timeline that a year ago today. So a year ago today, we were in the early phases of kind of the June riots. I don't know, protests. I wouldn't call them riots. There were some kind of blown up violent things that happened, but not large. I mean, I think it was all overblown. But a year ago today, people were starting to freak out. They're like, these stacks of bricks are appearing all over cities. And I went back and read through the comments just because I couldn't remember the exact timeline. I remember making fun of it, but I was reading the comments, and it was like Cincinnati and Dallas and Plano and Baltimore and all these places, and they were all like, dudes, those bricks have been there for months. They're part of a construction project. So everyone had a friend who, sort of like everyone has a friend who's a nurse during COVID times. Everyone had a friend who saw these bricks being dropped off. No one could actually prove it. There were no videos of it. And there were videos, a lot of construction companies were even having to take photos and say, hey, we took this photo 5 months ago and those bricks were already there. We just are behind on our project. It's funny. It's hilarious. And the one that triggered me the most, that's an interesting phrase, was in Highland Park at SMU. SMU's constantly under construction. They just build buildings every day. They're building a new building, it seems like. And there was a stack of bricks that may or may not have been delivered that day. but it was a lot of bricks and it wasn't near anything. But they thought what people thought, or their conspiracy theory was that like Soros or some other bad guy that they thought was a bad guy is dropping off these bricks in places so that people have bricks to throw when they're angry and rioting and all that kind of stuff. Have you ever tried to throw a brick before though? Bricks are fucking heavy. Bricks, I am more likely to throw out my back than throw a brick. Honestly, just try to. They're dense, they're heavy. You can't do anything with them. Um, I have a weird question for you, Crystal says. I know folk with immunity compromise can have vaccine issues. What about women with implants? No, it's not for me. They would look much better if it was. I have a childhood friend who posted she is vaccinated, but I know she has implants. My understanding is it's fillers, and it's under, and it was mostly early on. I have not heard many people talking about it recently. I don't know if they figured out treatment or how to recognize it or what, or alternative ways to do it. But early on, I heard it. I've never heard implants. I've heard it was the fillers. Like when I went, and we were like day 2 when it was open immunizations. They were like, if you had Botox or fillers, and it was like Juvederm or the ones where they put it in and it kind of plumps you up a little bit more in your lips and stuff. And I was like, I haven't. And she goes, really? I was like, I really haven't. You sure? I was like, I haven't. But thank you for thinking that I have. But that is my thing. There is a funny story though. It's not COVID related, but if you are a fan of David Sedaris, as I am, he's an author, comedian, all this kind of stuff, comedy writer. He has this story. Did you say? Oh, you said implant. Wait, no. If you have an implant, you have almost no immunity. Okay. I don't know what you're saying then, because you said implants before. Is that different than a transplant? I'm confused, Crystal. But back to David Sedaris has a story where he has this theory that if you get any plastic surgery, when you go to heaven, your punishment for, and he's not a religious writer, he's a comedy writer, but your punishment when you get to heaven for tampering with God's work is that whatever you had done gets magnified like 5 times. So if you got your boobs done, in heaven you got boobs this big, like ridiculous. If you got your lips done, your lips are this big. If your face was pulled tight, it's pulled 5 times tighter. So I think it's a hilarious story. If you have a transplant, you have almost no immunity. Yeah, that's the whole other thing. I think if you're a transplant, because you're on all those other drugs to keep you from not rejecting and such. And again, this is news-ish. Do not take this as the Mayo Clinic telling you what to do here, folks. What else? We got new screen time rules this week in the house. Oh, we have been struggling, y'all, on the screen time. And like violations of what the rules were and all that kind of stuff. And I'm starting to, then I'm like, well, maybe the rules were too strict, or maybe the system is broken because we've been using the same kind of system for like 5 years. And one of our kids is super responsible with it. The other one, not so much. And so got Todd convinced that maybe we need to kind of restructure it, allow responsibility, like say, hey, if you get all your stuff done, let's just like balance, just like life. You got to balance everything, right? It may be too early to make a determination on the success of this program. The one who was being very responsible, it continues to be very responsible. The one who doesn't continues to get mind sucked into the screen. So we may have to revisit that, but I don't know. And I'm talking down because sometimes they hear me on the other side of the door. And the last thing I got, well, there's a couple of other things I can talk about. We binge watched over the weekend. I'm not a big binge watcher, but it was so rainy and gross. The show, it was on Amazon, called Britain by Narrowboat. And basically it's these guys, these 2 guys, it's a couple. They have sold all of their belongings, bought, it was called a narrowboat, which is basically like a canal boat. So I did not know this, but England and Britain has all of these canals, like thousands of miles of canals that people take and go, and it's kind of like RVing. You have this boat, it's like a houseboat, and you go through locks, all the locks and all that kind of stuff, and you can go. Okay, we're gonna go up to Gloucester, and then we're gonna go to Worcestershire, and then we're gonna go to. I have fucked up names, but up and around and all that kind of stuff. It was very interesting that I wrote on myself. But very peaceful too. So we watched all of that, and it's super interesting. A lot of times they have to operate these locks all by themselves. It's only a 6-episode show, so if you do want to watch it and you're not super invested in it, it's not really long. And then we continue to watch Hacks or Hack. I can't remember the Gene Smart show that's on what's it on? HBO Max, I think. It's very, very good too. Got to watch that. Let's see, what else did I have on my list? My card is empty, but I got a couple of backup things there. So hey Carrie, do you ever have people who so I got a call on Friday from the pediatrician's office saying, hey, we need to move your kids' appointments. And I thought it was for vaccine because I booked Claire's second vaccine is this Saturday, and Mason, whose birthday is Friday, his 12th birthday. So on Saturday morning, he is getting his first vaccine. And so I thought it was that. And I was like, oh, you talking about the vaccine appointments on Saturday? No, they're annual physicals or whatever. They're annual well checks. And I'm like, what? Well, after you were here last time, it's in your MyChart, and that's the app. After you were last time, we just automatically booked it a year out. I was like, did you tell me? I don't remember if we told you or not, but we put it in the MyChart. And I'm like, people don't just look at the MyChart for fun. Like, I'm not like checking in on MyChart. I wonder what my doctor's office is up to these days. That sort of thing drives me insane. When people assume, like, just because that's your system, like to automatically book it, don't assume that I'm on the same system, especially if I'm the customer. But I was just like, no, I can't do that. No, we're not going to do that. Plus, they're up for a bunch of vaccines, HPV, all that kind of stuff. And you can't have, I'm not going to fuck up the COVID vaccine at this point. So, and you can't have another vaccine within like 2 weeks of it or something like that. So we're just going to have to delay probably till right before school starts, because I think our school gets out January 25th. I'm already starting to look at and book travel for the end of June through most of July. We have to be in San Antonio on, I think it's like 23rd, whatever that Friday is, 23rd, 25th, something like that. My late grandfather, who you've heard me talk about before, he passed away right before COVID. We didn't get to have we had a YouTube funeral, worst thing ever. And then we haven't been able to do the military honors. He's going to be buried at Fort Sam Houston, I think is the place in San Antonio. And they're going to do all the colors and 21 gun salute, all that kind of stuff. So we have that scheduled for the front porch of hell, though it's hot, in July 23rd in San Antonio, but they're booked up so far because they just weren't doing them for a long time. So it's like you got to grab a spot when you can get it. So I guess that's when we're doing it. So we have to be back for them. I don't remember what, but so we're looking at going west or maybe northwest out of Texas. Everything just looks like a big old scab. It's gross. But we're going to probably stop in Palo Duro Canyon, which is fun, hot, but beautiful. But they have a show called Texas that is supposed to be amazing. Big fireworks display at the end, all that kind of stuff. Eric is asking, Carrie's saying, Happy Pride Month. I got all the rainbows going. Girl, I'm even drinking rainbow wine. Look at that. This is that original house wine. It's you can't see it. The rosé bubbles is what I'm having. Are your kids a bit more cheerful loading and unloading the dishwasher these days? They've gotten better about it. They don't complain quite as much because it's just an expectation now. Anything. Do y'all have anything else? Because that was all of my things on my list. What I got. Carrie, even the NFL has changed their logo. Are you on tomorrow, by the way? Let me know. Because tomorrow's Wednesday. That's the other thing. All day today, I've been operating like it's Monday, and then I have things that happen on Wednesdays that I get prepped on Tuesdays, and I started getting those today, and I'm like, man, y'all are Johnny on the spot. And then I fucking realized that tomorrow's Wednesday already. And then I'm off. Todd's off, taking every Friday off in June. I will probably be off largely on Friday because of Mason's birthday being that day. So we'll see. I think we're going to Dave and Buster's. That'll be the first time. I mean, Dave and Buster's. If you can't get more COVID pit than that, I don't know. It's like kids will be masked up. Just hose them down with some hand sanitizer afterwards. And Carrie has confirmed that she will be on tomorrow. So, alrighty. Well, with that, that's all I got today. I love you. It's important to know you are loved. I love that you watched this. Happy start of Pride Month. We'll have rainbows. I'll show you the scarf I bought when it comes. I think it arrives tomorrow. I may need y'all to help me figure out my outfit for Saturday night. And Monica is off every Friday in June too. Ooh, you and Todd could have a good old time. Meet down in Waco. We're gonna do that at some point. Meet down in Waco to go see Magnolia. I've heard that the Magnolia silos have totally expanded. They have a church there and baseball fields and a bunch of new stores and all that stuff. So I'm wanting to go there. All right, well that's it. I will see you tomorrow with Carrie at 4:30 for another episode of Cooped Up Live. Should I say bye?